It is absolute honor to be here today to share this moment with her. At 83 years young, Shradha Aunty has undertaken an extraordinary journey that has culminated in the book, a testament to her wisdom, resilience, lifelong pursuit of knowledge. Writing a book at any stage in life is remarkable, and coming from academic background, I totally understand that. But doing so with such depth and insight at this stage is truly inspiring. Darpan is not just a book, it is a profound exploration of self, beautifully blending Tasso's core principles with Shradha Auntie's personal reflections. It illustrates how regression therapy serves as a bridge between the conscious and the subconscious mind, guiding individuals towards transformation.
Good evening, everyone. On this beautiful day, I express my gratitude to the universe for guiding me to this moment. I respectfully thank Hans Tandem, whose vision and teachings have laid the foundation for so many of us on the path of self-discovery. A special thank you to Dr. Yuvraj Kapadia, who made the deep philosophy of subconscious mind so simple and moving. He inspired me to write my journey and even gave this book its title, Darpan. Through his wisdom, I was able to recognize the true essence of the mirror within. The learning and exploration I experienced through this method of past life regression helped me understand many aspects of my life, my emotions, past patterns, and the deeper meaning of my life journey. In the beginning, I did not know why I was drawn to this path, but with time, everything became clear, like pieces of a puzzle finding their place. I am deeply grateful to Dr. Sonia Gupte, my teacher, my guide, whose gentle support and timely advice have been invaluable in shaping this book. I would also like to express my heartfelt thanks to Jackie Virendra, my mentor and my guide. Her calm and positive presence has always given me clarity and reassurance. No journey is ever complete without the love and support of family. I am truly blessed to have daughters who are my strength and pride. The space of a son in my life has been beautifully filled by my son-in-law Sameer Dhaga, who has traveled all the way from India to be here today. He is joined by his close friend M.U. Reddy. My thanks to him as well. A special thank you to my brother Rajinder Arora and his wife Sadhana Arora for also coming from India to grace this occasion with their presence. I would also like to thank Himanshu Vashisht for his support and meaningful contribution in bringing these books to life. His presence throughout this journey have meant a lot to me. There are many others who have supported me along the way. Please know that your love, encouragement, and presence mean the world to me. This book has been written with a heart full of emotion. Thank you all for being here and sharing this special moment with me. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. So here I have extracted the most favorite topic of ours. You are your own God. In our Tasso sessions, our respected guide, Dr. Yuvraj Kapadia, often says, you are your own God. I am God. Initially, this statement seemed difficult for me to comprehend. How could I, an ordinary person, equate myself with God? But through Tasso, I realized the deeper meaning behind this truth, that God is not distant, external force, but resides within us. The Indian philosophy teaches us that each of us carries the divine within, and it is profound realization to discover Aham Brahmasmi, which means I am the Absolute. Great gurus like Shankaracharya also explain this by saying Shivo Aham, meaning I am Shiva, I am the consciousness. Scriptures further state Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande, meaning what is within us is reflected in the universe. The realization that I am God is not a simple thought. It is a deep truth. When we understand it, we see our connection to everything around us. It is not about pride or arrogance, but about recognizing the divine spark within us, the power to create, nurture, and transform our lives. The universe treats everyone equally. It reflects what we give to it. God has given us all the same inner wealth, our abilities, and along with it, the gift of free will. It is up to each one of us to decide how we want to live. We have the freedom to shape our lives as we choose. When we understand the power of our will, the divine within us helps turn our desires into reality. Every step we take towards self-awareness brings us closer to living a life filled with purpose, meaning, and light. It is because of this free will that one becomes a thief, another a saint, and someone else a kind-hearted giver or truth seeker. Everyone has their own choices, their own joys, and their own sorrows based on their actions. In someone's life, there is abundance, while in another's life, there is emptiness. Some give too much and lose themselves, while others take everything and become selfish. This cycle of giving and receiving of joy and sorrow continues from one life to another. It is a never-ending journey, like the perpetual spinning of a wheel. Life does not stop at death. The journey of life after life continues. As you sow, so shall you reap. one must bear the consequences of their own actions. No one else can share the weight of those consequences. Through the wisdom of Tasso, we gain the knowledge to clear the account of our karmas and lighten the baggage that we unknowingly carry across lifetimes. This process gives us the ability to let go of the burden caused by the outcomes of our past actions. So, this is our favorite chapter which says, I am God. Thank you so much for guiding us. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for your time. I often mention that time is the one thing that nobody can ever give you back. So when you invest your time in any activity or for any cause, it just reflects the deep commitment that you have to the process, because no matter how hard Shradha tries or I try, we can't return these 5 minutes back to you. You've already given it, we've already taken it, so thank you for that. This day, of course, belongs completely to Shradha and to the eternal spirit of humanity. So I'm not going to take too much of your time. As I said, this is her platform. Oh, jeez. No, please take. No, I checked with Neelam, like what would be appropriate. She said 1 minute. I said 1 minute to मुझे सांस लेने में लगती है यार. 1 minute. Yeah. So. Yeah. No issues. It's as I said, the day belongs to her. We have to respect that. So, perhaps yes, I would like to share two thoughts with you. One, of course, is my personal experience with Shradha. So, when I met Shradha, she came into my class, and we all have a story. We all have epics. Shradha had her story. But what was absolutely astounding was a certain inner spark that she had that you can't really define. Kya hai? What is it? That keeps her going relentlessly, almost like an automated program, you know. And then I remember in that final level, I was checking with students, what do you want to do in your life, etc. And she came out with this one line, I want to be famous, I want to be known, and I'm going to write a book. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this student and I'm taking a deep breath. And of course, I'm a regression therapist, so my first thought is, time, this thought, where is this coming from? Because that's how a regression therapist will think. Because otherwise, everything is benchmarked to a stage of development. So normally, if Shradha would say at the age of 40, I want to write a book, I want to be a bestseller, I understand that. So my initial first premise, and I don't judge people too easily, it's not in my nature to judge. But I did take a deep breath, I must admit it. And I said, well, this looks like, okay, some past life story will be there, something is incomplete, something needs to be complete. Little did I realize that we were going to embark on a journey of magic. Magic in her sessions, magic in the class, magic in her way of thinking. And I remember we did one particular session where I think she saw this event happening in the future. And it just completely benchmarked what I normally explain, that everything starts in your mind and ends in your body. This was also Edmund Hillary's statement when he was asked, he's the first person who climbed Everest, how did you do it? And his answer was very simple, I had done it a zillion times in my mind. So it was just a question of when my body is going to catch up. And Shradha was a classical example of that. Because she knew this moment, she knew this date, she knew the content, and we now see it in reality. So it's almost as if we've teleported ahead in time and we're now living this out. And which is why, as a human species, it's high time you became aware of how you're thinking. Because what you are today is exactly what you have thought at some point of time. And the way you will think today will decide exactly where you will go tomorrow. So please treat your mind with respect. It's benchmarking your journey. This is a living testimonial of that. Okay. So hats off, congratulations. And perhaps the only conviction that I would have is this is a fixed event for her. This is something she had to go through. It is something that was meant for her. As they say, it's in your destiny. Nobody can take it away from you. This is her moment in time and she deserves every bit of it. So I think for a moment, before I give you my next thought, let's just applaud this moment for her fully. I think it's great. Super journey. And then maybe just a moment on the title, because she asked me for a title and this is the title I suggested. My thought process behind that title is something that I often educate my students to, or rather share my thoughts. I'm a little bit of a mad maverick. Not everything I say is very logical. It's okay. So I often explain that people take up therapy as a profession for one simple reason: to understand themselves. Because every client who comes into our life is a mirror. And that's how the term Darpan or mirror stuck in my head. That literally every session that we do, every client that comes at some junction is showing us something about ourselves, about our lives, that perhaps we are blinded to, perhaps we're not aware about. And when that client comes into your life, it just adds that little bit of, okay. And then in a broader context, you begin to realize that the whole world is a mirror, not just your clients. Everything that you see around you is a mirror, it's a reflection. And look at the irony of human nature. We stand in front of a mirror, we are standing in front of a darpan, and we see a black spot on the cheek in the reflection. And we spend a whole lifetime trying to clean the mirror. This is the sublime tragedy of human consciousness. You don't realize that the black spot that you are seeing on the mirror is a reflection. Everything outside of you is a reflection, but we are obsessed with trying to change that. What do you need? You need this book, this understanding that it's not out there. What you see out there is a reflection on a mirror. The real story is in here. And that's where the regression comes in, that's where the past life therapy comes in, and that's where all the modalities come in that we normally teach, practice, and which Shradha has so beautifully woven into her experiences. So if for nothing else, of course for Shradha, I know all of you hold her in esteem, love. Do read the book first for her, and second, read it for yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve an insight that helps you to understand who you are. Thank you so much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's such an honor and a privilege, to be standing here in front of you to convey my heartfelt thanks and gratitude on behalf of Mrs. Shradha Bhatia and her family. So first of all, thank you very much, sir, Yuvraj sir, for that awe-inspiring speech that you gave, or a talk that you gave. I don't know much about hypnotherapy, but what I heard kind of resonated so beautifully with me, and it was actually, I was thinking about my own life and what I went through in that journey. And I can completely resonate that sometimes you visualize and think of things that that come to your head, and later on you actually live those things. There's so many times in my life that I thought, oh, this happened. But when I connect the dots, I get that eerie of a feeling that it seemed that it was kind of destined to happen. So that was awesome, sir. I think there is a potential student now standing here. So excellent. Anyway, so first of all, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Yuvraj sir, for your kind presence here as the esteemed guest of honor and for gracing our occasion here. And I think it adds tremendous value, your being here to the event, and also for the kind words that you've rendered. But I think more than that, I would say the prequel to the event is what we're thanking you for. And the prequel is the years of training that Mrs. Bhatia, Ms. Shradha went through in acquiring knowledge on the art and science of hypnotherapy and Tasso under the mentorship of Dr. Yuvraj. I think a big thank you and a big applause for all of that. Thank you very much. A very special thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you for taking the time out on a weekend and honoring Mrs. Shradha with your love, affection, and her writing the book. Thank you so much. Let me tell you, your being here means the world to us. And it's really heartwarming to see the community of practitioners, families, friends, everybody getting together to support Mrs. Bhatia. So thank you so much, all of you. I think the vote of thanks would be incomplete if I do not thank Dr. Ravi Chatterjee, our Master of Ceremony, whose immaculate planning and conduct of the event has brought us to this point. And so thank you very much, Ravi, for bringing in your help, support, as always. You've been a part of our family, and thank you so much for being here today as well. And last but not the least, let me take a moment to celebrate the Lady of Honor today, Mrs. Shradha Bhatia. So I have known Mrs. Shradha Bhatia for over 3 decades now. In fact, in the era when I got married, that's a couple of decades ago, in India, arranged marriage was a thing. You would only meet your bride formally and then decide whether you both want to get married or not. So when I went down to this town called Nagpur to look at my prospective wife, the person I met before I met my wife was Mrs. Bhatia. So when I met her and I talked to her, I decided, okay, let's go ahead, and that's how things happened. So I would say thank you, Shradha ji, for sharing your thoughts, inspiring us with your words, and not only through your words, but also through your actions, which have inspired us all. And today we get an opportunity to dive deeper into her beautiful soul through her book, Darpan. Thank you all for being here. May this book reach out far and wide and touch the hearts of many like you have touched ours. And so thank you, Mrs. Bhatia, and thank you all for being here. Thank you.